Right, so this picture shows a runner. As he runs, the runner gets hot. To avoid overheating, his body sweats. As the sweat evaporates, it cools his body. Use ideas about particles to explain why evaporation leads to cooling. Okay, so what we have is we have a hot person, and this hot person is sweating, and then the sweat particles are evaporating off his body. So what do we know about heat? So as he gets hot, the particles of his body vibrate more. Okay, the particles are vibrating much more as he gets hot. So what we have is the surface of his body with lots of particles which are all vibrating a lot. Now, if we've got some water on here, his sweat on the surface of his body, then also the water particles are going to vibrate more. When they vibrate more, they evaporate. So you have the fast moving particles leave. They evaporate. The fast moving particles leave the body. The fast moving sweat particles, because it's hot, the sweat is hot, fast moving particles, sweat particles leave the body. Now what that means is that in total, the average speed of the particles in the body has decreased. And that means he gets hot, the particles vibrate more, the fast moving particles leave the body, so the average speed of the particles in the body has decreased, so the temperature has decreased. Okay, so at the end of the race, the runners are given a shiny foil sheet to wear. This stops them cooling down too quickly. Suggest why a runner might cool down quickly if he does not wear a foil sheet. So if he does not wear a foil sheet, then the sweat will still be evaporating, but he himself is not making more heat. So the sweat still evaporates, so he is still cooling down, but he is not making any more heat. So he's going to get cold. So how does the foil sheet reduce the heat loss? Well, we know a little bit about heat loss. We know that there are 3 ways. What are the 3 ways? There's conduction, there's convection, and there's radiation. So we know that the foil is a bad radiator. It's bad at radiation. That's one thing we can say. The foil is a bad radiator. So it does not lose any heat by radiation. So the body does not lose heat by radiation. Now the other thing it does is if this is the person again, if you put a surface over that person, the foil sheet, then in the gap here, the sweat, it cannot evaporate, or it stops the convection around the body. So the foil, just like any clothes really, provides a layer to stop heat loss by convection. Okay, that's the second mark.